Hello procrastinator, Sam here. Quick question, do you guys remember this video from 2015? So the CEO of Sega recently came out saying that they feel like they betrayed their fans. The CEO's name is Hajime Satomi, and he came out in a interview with the gaming magazine Famitsu. It's a Japanese gaming magazine. I don't know much of it, obviously. But they went in an interview and the CEO admitted that he feels like the company has betrayed the trust of fans over the last 10 years. Yeah, I actually really hope you guys don't remember that video because it was the first video on my channel where I was on camera and I was clearly a nervous wreck. I think I was so nervous, I don't even know what I said here. I think I had a brain aneurysm. But admitted that that the games it released may have betrayed the faith. What? Anyways, the point of that video was the Sega CEO coming out at the time in 2015 and admitting that they betrayed their fans and they want to start focusing on quantity over quality. I got that back. They wanted to focus on quality over quantity. So yeah, I know how it always goes. We've heard Sega say this a number of times in the past where they're going to focus on quality more in their games. They're going to push to polish it more. They're not going to rush as much, this and that. We've heard it plenty of times before. It's kind of like Boy Who Cries Wolf at this point. Again, we've heard it and we always say the same thing in response. We'll believe it when we see it. And that's essentially what I said at the end of that video was that I'll believe it when I see it. I hope Sega really fixes the way they do what they do, and I hope this is, I take this as a promise. From what he's saying right now, I'm looking at it as a promise. Now I'm waiting to see it. 2 years later, we get Sonic Forces, and in my review, I said this. I take this as a promise. From what he's saying right now, I'm looking at it as a promise. Now I'm waiting to see it. And we all know how that game went. I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. The general consensus is that game was pretty lacking and it didn't really feel like 4 years of work. But something interesting happened recently on the Sonic official live streams. Now usually I don't like to make videos of stuff that officials might say on those streams. Again, I feel like those aren't really official statements. Those are more or less just some of the things those officials are saying. So I wouldn't put those as set in stone that that's what happened. This is what Sega as a whole, the whole company is saying. Not really. And obviously you guys know what I'm talking about. It's been all over the community at this point. Aaron Weber's statement on the recent Sonic official live stream raised a lot of eyebrows, and this is what he had to say.
A lot of people asking, when are we going to see a new game trailer or a new anything? And this, I'm sure, is the million-dollar question, because as time goes on, the longer time goes on, the more antsy we get, right? And I say this having been a really strong core Sonic fan for a long time. The more antsy we get, and that's where we are right now. And this is a case where, and I think you've seen this change happen. Back in the day, it used to be like every year there was a new Sonic game. And as a result of that, there were a number of times when kind of because of that rushed production schedule, the quality of the games wouldn't quite be where they really kind of needed to be. And so a couple of years ago, a few years ago, we actually said, hey, that's gonna change going forward. We're gonna put probably more time into things as we go forward. And that's gonna mean that you have to wait longer between trailers or announcements or stuff like that. And we know that's kind of annoying sometimes because you just really want news. But that's where we are now. And we think that the patience hopefully will be worth it in the end. We're really excited for what's to come, but we can't really say anything right now. So thank you for being patient. And as soon as we have news or anything to share with you, we absolutely will share it with you. So that's the best I can say. Someone's like Sonic 3006. You won't wait that long. Don't worry. It shouldn't be that long. So yeah, that's the short version of kind of why it's taken a bit longer to hear anything.
Now, at first glance, you guys will probably think, well, this is exactly the same thing. Boy Who Cries Wolf. Sega's going to put more quality over quantity. We get it. We know. We've heard this before. But I think in conjunction with the fact that we really have not gotten anything since Sonic Forces, I really think this statement holds more weight than before. Now, I know what people are going to say. It's the same thing I said people were going to say when I posted this clip on Twitter, and they ended up saying it anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But they said, But Sam, Sonic Forces took 4 years of development, so that just goes to show that it doesn't matter how much time they have, that team is just inept and that they'll always make crappy content no matter how much time they have. And that's actually not true. Sonic Forces, yes, had a time window of 4 years, but the game itself wasn't actually made until the last year and a half of that development. And you're probably gonna ask, well, what the hell were they doing all that time? Well, apparently they were making a lighting engine called the Hedgehog Engine 2. Obviously, the Hedgehog Engine 2 is the predecessor to the Hedgehog Engine, which was used in Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Generations, I believe Sonic Colors, and Sonic... I don't think Sonic Lost World used it. But my point is, yeah, they were making... Most of that time was used to make a lighting engine. And it really baffled my mind. I'm like, it took that long for a team to make a lighting engine? I looked into it, and it's actually very hard to make a lighting engine. In fact, to make your own lighting engine, so they don't have to outsource it or to pay to use another crew's lighting engine. A lot of money goes into that, and it's actually really hard. Again, I'm not a programmer, I don't know how things work, but it's actually not an easy task. So I guess it does make sense that it took them a long time, though that doesn't excuse why that game was so rushed. In fact, I'm not trying to excuse that team at all. I think that whole production schedule sounded like hell, and it was just bad planning altogether from both Sega and Sonic Team. But why I think what Aaron Weber is saying now has a little more weight than what Sega said in the past in terms of putting quality over quantity is that we really haven't seen anything since Sonic Forces, but not only that, they already have their lighting engine made. Hedgehog Engine 2 is already made. In fact, it's being used in more games like Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Games 2020, and it's also used in the new Sakurai Wars game. And it's probably going to be used in a lot more Sega titles in the near future, and I'm probably missing some here that's already been confirmed. The Hedgehog Engine 1 was used in a lot of games. I really think that, okay, the Hedgehog Engine 2, already made. You already have your new lighting engine. What do you think they're going to be doing during this entire period of time? Making the actual game part of the video game? Hopefully. And yeah, what else could they be making? If the Hedgehog Engine 2 is made, they have to be working on the next mainline Sonic game. And hopefully during this entire time, because again, I'm not going to be like they are doing it, because I don't know. All I can say is I hope that is what they're doing. If they are doing it, and I'm 99.9% sure they are, because what else could they be doing? Yeah, then if they're working on the game, then I am more hyped for the next mainline Sonic game. If they really want to focus on quality over quantity, and they're actually really showing that they are doing that, because we haven't got a peep out of them in terms of, they already said they're making the next one during, I think, 2018 South by Southwest, but the fact that they're actually making it and they're taking a long time they're not even rushing to announce the game. Because if you think about it, if Sonic Forces took a year and a half to make, and then when they announced it during the 25th anniversary game, that means when we saw this trailer, that there was barely any game made. Which baffles my mind and really goes to show just how quick that team is to making video games. It's not good. It's not good that they rush that much. But like I said in my old video, and like I've always said, I have to see it first. Yeah, we all say that, and I'm kind of seeing it now. For the first time, I'm actually seeing Sega not only say they're going to take their time, but they're actually taking their time. It's been so long since we got any official Sonic game. The fact that we haven't had an official Sonic game in this long feels so strange, because again, we used to get Sonic games every year, every 2 years. We would get something, we would get fed something. And yeah, we've had Team Sonic Racing, we had Sonic Mania Plus, and we had Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2020, but all of those are made by different teams, by different people. It's not made by the official Sonic team that makes the actual games. So I'm hyped. I'm hyped as hell. And something tells me that they really want to make sure that this next title has a lot of quality into it. And I gotta say too, I feel like the Sonic movie probably had a hand in that. The Sonic movie, and again, I've showed this trend graph before, I'll show it again. Sonic the Hedgehog is the most relevant it's been since the beginning, probably since the 90s, okay? Sonic the Hedgehog was all over. And this movie, having good publicity and good press, that it was a good movie, only helped people's love for Sonic the Hedgehog and really put him back on the spotlight. Again, it's kind of like Crash Bandicoot, how they had a bunch of remakes, and he's kind of back on the map. Because again, for the longest time, Crash Bandicoot fell off the face of the earth, and we thought that series was dead. But no, Crash Bandicoot's back, and they're asking for new games, and we know that they're making stuff, and people are hyped for them. It's like the same thing for Sonic. but only because this movie only showed that Sonic's love, the love for Sonic the Hedgehog is still there, not only just in this fan base though, but in the casual gaming audience and just for families in general. And again, I think because of how well that movie did in the box office and, you know, on sales and just by the amazing amount of numbers it had, again, #1 video game movie in the world. Yeah, I think that had a huge wake-up call to Sega that Sonic can print money, so let's print money using our own IP, put quality into it, let's make a game that could be remembered, and just take our time. Let's not just say we're gonna take our time. Let's show them that we're gonna take our time, and we're gonna take so much time that we're not even gonna show you or announce the game yet, because once we do that, then you guys will be hyping up for the release of the game, but we wanna take our time. And I have nothing against that. That's nothing but good news that could come out of there. I don't want there to be people trying to spin this and being like, oh boy, who cries wolf, like I said this before, blah, 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 blah. But no, this is for real. This is for real. They're really actually taking their times, and I don't think this is anything like the Sonic Forces development. They already have their lighting engine. They're going to probably use the same lighting engine. They're probably going to make it even look better. I don't want to get into that whole debate too. People will say, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog Engine 2 doesn't even look that good. It honestly, it does look great. You know, in Sakurai Wars, in Mario and Sonic Olympic Games 2020, that game looked really nice. I think the engine is still new, so they didn't really get to really flesh it out more and get used to it. So again, I can only hope so much for that team, but I'm actually really excited to see what the next game is. And I really just wanted to talk about this to really see, what do you guys think about all of this? What are your guys' thoughts on Aaron Webber saying that the team decided that they're going to take their time and they're going to be serious with it this time? They're going to take their time in making and announcing a Sonic game to make sure they have all the time they need to develop the actual game. And yeah, that's the video. I know it's been a while since I made videos like this. I'm happy you guys saw the debate and that you guys loved the debate. Part 3 was supposed to be the final, but we're going to actually make a part 4. I feel like there's a lot of questions and a lot of things we probably could explain better. So we're gonna use part 4 to answer any questions you guys had, me, Twip, and Premi. So if you guys haven't seen those debates yet, I definitely recommend watching them. They're actually really entertaining to watch. Yeah, me, Twip, and Premi don't have the same opinions, but I think that's what makes them so interesting to watch. And a lot of people were actually wondering what this teaser video was that I put on my Twitter and on my community page. And I can't believe nobody got this. It's literally saying it to you right in your face. The big announcement is that we are